I'm a bit late to the party with the Beetle, right? At this stage, it's been around a long time, but it's hard to fit all the cars in. But I kind of look forward to Beetle because Beetle to Volkswagen is totally different from everything else Volkswagen. It just is. And I know, look, chassis and all that technology that's swapped over, but I just don't feel like I'm in a Golf. You know, it just feels a totally different setup car. The floor feels lower. I feel lower down inside the car too, and I have this enormously crazy looking mustard coloured dashboard, which is just, well, garish but nice. I like it. It does hark back to traditional, to the vintage, to kind of sentimentality. When you look at this, you kind of go, you get all sentimental, go, oh, old cars, classic cars were brilliant. We should design cars more like classic cars. You know what? Classic cars broke down every 5 seconds. I lived through the 70s and the 80s when every car was basically broken down all of the time because they were crap. Modern cars are better. They just don't break down. But it's nice to see a little return to the old-fashioned ways, which is quite nice. I like this kind of thing on the dash here that tells me about the bar turbo pressure, and there's sort of a clock, and there's some other dial, and then there's an oil pressure one as well. None of which are anyway necessary these days, but still, it's nice to have something different in the car. How does it feel to drive? Well, it's flat, it's fairly neutral, it's not very exciting, it's more of a fashion accessory. The little flower holder thing is gone, maybe that's an optional extra or something. The dash is distinctly Volkswagen when I'm looking at it. That's okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but it has this kind of unique feel in that the light switch is up here on the top of the dash, and you know, there's other little bits around the edge of it as well that make it a very sort of unique experience to drive the car, not just the look. And this is the R-Line model, so you do get a lot more weird stuff on the outside, like those alloy wheels. Now, the rest of the controls are very much Volkswagen. This is all this stuff here is straight out of the normal, it's like basic Golf or Polo or whatever way you want to put it. But there are some unique little things, like the way that glove box opens top and bottom. And I have an elastic band, this huge big elastic band holding in my water bottle, which is right here. The elastic band does a good job of doing that, which makes the door pockets smaller. Useless for carrying anything else because it just fall out the bottom of it, but you know, for water bottles and things it's absolutely fine. One thing I do notice, this car has 12,000 kilometers on it. There's a noise on the top of the dash, I don't know what it is, but like press cars, they get treated quite harshly. I can stop the noise and put my hand on top of that, so it's probably just that loosened up a small bit. Settling in, we'd call that. The Beetle is, of course, a historic vehicle. You wouldn't expect big sales from something like this, but it's still an important vehicle for Volkswagen because it shows where they've come from and how far they've come anyway. I mean, look at this thing drive. It's very flat, very pleasant, very easy to get into and just trundle along for a bit. It's very pleasant. Now, I just came from Greystones there a second ago. I drove out of there. I was looking for a place to film there in Greystones. Greystones, you really got to up your game when it comes to filming locations. There wasn't anywhere to stop. It's just so busy. It just is. Got to get it sorted out, man. If you want to, you know, have that hipster, cool fashion statement vibe for a car, then yes, this is definitely a fantastic statement because it really does tick all of those boxes. It's a 3-door, it's got 4 seats inside, it's very practical boot, in fairness, so it's quite a big boot. The engine is up the front these days, so it shouldn't really be a big problem. The car's front-wheel drive is easy to drive as well. Not like the original. The original Beetles are all rear-wheel drive, you know. Scary. I like the Beetle for what the Beetle is. Sort of a toy, a kind of a fashion accessory to life, and that's okay to be that. That's fine if that's your thing. But you need to be the lifestyle that this dictates, and that's the thing. You need to dress up to drive this car. I mean, you need to dress properly to drive this car. You need to dress in your hipster best to be seen in this car, because it is going to attract a lot of attention. And you are always going to have to explain why you bought a Beetle. You can be sensible and buy the diesel version of this for spins around the town because, well, you know, it does good fuel economy. You can be a little bit less sensible and buy the petrol version 1.4 TSI, which is the one I'd recommend for you, but only if your mileage is going to be able to withstand that, because it's quite a big, heavy car. It doesn't feel as light and nimble as a Golf. It's okay, I can live with that. It doesn't have to be, because the original Beetle was definitely not light or nimble. Neither. Thing was like a tank. But a good car, really good car, and ultimately collectible at the moment, but only in good condition because they all rotted terribly. But this is a very modern, ultra cool, ultra hipster vibe thing that should be pictured with surfboards hanging off the roof of it. You know, in that lifestyle sort of shot that everybody wants to do. That's the way you should picture this car. I do have another video of this car on my YouTube channel. Just search for Beetle and you'll see an older video where I drove it down to Cork, I think. A blue one. That was a convertible one. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that car. This DSG one is lovely as well. I think I'd rather a convertible though. Just pure. If I'm going to go mad, I might as well go all the way mad and get a convertible as well. Thank you very much for watching this review. If you think I deserve it, please hit that subscribe button down there at the bottom. It's always useful to do that. And if you really want to support this channel's freedom to be able to talk about cars in any way, please then head along to patreon.com/thenextgear and give whatever you can right there. It'll be much appreciated, as always. Until the next time, I will see you on the far side.